Well, global uncertainty takes the crypto markets lower, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of your other favorite altcoins. There is one ecosystem that doesn't really care about what's going on globally or really even in the rest of the altcoin market. Well, that's Virtual's protocol, as they just had an agent launch and 500x literally on launch. And so those of you that are in, congratulations. We'll talk about some of the upcoming ones as well. We have some news from Ripple as well. They continue to make more partnerships. Shocker there. Ethereum ETF flows. You'll have to see them compared to what we saw from Bitcoin yesterday. And it's ETH season here. You know, when I claimed my token from the new Virtuals drop, I was so used to spending 0.001 cents on gas fees with Base. I had to pay like $2. But that might not matter because, well, people want to be on ETH. We're going to look at the markets. And we got an AMA up. We got a Q&A up in the chat. Make sure to drop your questions. Could be crypto related, could be non-crypto related. And we'll go back and forth for the community and answer your questions. With that being said, Gina, roll the intro.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to SINCITY Crypto, home of Elvis, casinos, strip clubs, and the world's hottest cryptocurrency live show. What a day. I almost thought we were going to hit all-time highs this morning. We were at 110. We were sniffing it.
This morning?
Yeah, this morning. You're not awake this morning?
What time this morning?
Oh, no.
Yeah, are you high?
Oh, we were almost there. Okay, 1097. No.
108.
That was yesterday, sorry.
You know, nowadays I always look forward to, you have your main intro and then you have your sub intro where you say the ridiculous stuff. I always look forward to like
Ridiculified?
What's Rob gonna ridiculify today? What's he gonna say some off the wall shit? Nice shirt, by the way.
Like this?
That's a genuine compliment. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'm wearing sleeves today. If you guys haven't noticed.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Had to bust out the big boys. I was looking at my closet. I need to go shopping, man.
Yeah, I haven't even seen your closet, but the answer to that is absolutely. You are correct, sir. 100%.
I know where my faults lie. I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. Damn it. Okay, let's start here. Global uncertainty. Why? Well, I'm actually not going to play the video. I know, Gina, all the time you put in to make sure the audio wasn't too loud. I'm not even going to play the video. I'm just going to read. It's going to read this. So yesterday, news circled around that the families of the military at the U.S. bases in the Middle East are being ordered to evacuate. And so, of course, everyone's like, oh, my God, what's going on? Why are they doing that? And there's rumors that Israel is going to attack Iran. And so why am I saying this? Well, I'm saying this because it affects the crypto markets, right? It's uncertainty. People don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be the beginning of World War III. I don't know. I'm not trying to feed into FUD here. I'm just saying, you wondering why the markets are down? That's partly the reason why the markets are down. Although Bitcoin has held up fairly strongly, some of the alts got wrecked. But again, when we tie a spill off to something, when we can, those dips are easy to buy if we feel like it's short-lived. And now we know exactly why. People are freaking out. What's going to happen once we get more clarity, or if whatever's supposed to happen happens, might get a little bit of a flush out, and then that's your opportunity to get in some of those projects that you wish you would have gotten in earlier or wish you would have had more of. And then Trump said, you'll have to wait and see when they asked him why they did that. Take a look at the stock market, though. So oil prices have, I believe, tanked. And then we have the Dow up. Well, we'll just call it flat. Dow up 0.17, S&P up 0.32, NASDAQ up 0.3, Bitcoin down what's Bitcoin?
Who knows moving quite well this morning is
I was
gold.
walking around. Say,
were you proud of did you have some oatmeal and you did some jumping jacks?
I had oatmeal yesterday.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
What were we going to say?
Gold's moving.
Oh.
Yeah. Gold
fits into the global uncertainty.
Yeah, gold is up almost 2% this morning. So for an asset that's as old as time itself, it was
Not old enough for Peter Schiff, though.
created with the
Okay,
universe
I'm
and
not-
when stars explode. Well, you have gold. It is up 1.7% to a flat $3,400.
Wow.
Now,
What's palladium at?
palladium?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Eternal secret.
Wow, thank you, man.
So, you look at everything's down. Everything's red today.
Wow.
On the 24 hours. On the 24 hours, everything's down, but nothing too dramatic. No major sell-offs. But, who's leading the top charts here? It's
Gold.
Pax Gold and Tether Gold. Stable
No
gold.
way. Is it maybe because it's tied to the actual price of gold?
Crazy, right?
That's insane.
Crazy, right?
Insane.
It's gold outperforming crypto today. So today's show is question: which one is more valuable, the gold in your jewelry box, or the
Gold in your
change,
teeth.
or the change
Oh.
in your wallet? The dust. Which one do you think? Which one do you think is worth more?
What was the
Jewelry
question?
box gold in your house, or all the change in all your wallets?
What did you tell me when I asked you a question? You said, "Don't worry about it."
Mhm.
Don't worry about it. I gotta take my shoes off.
What
They're very-
question did you ask? Did I?
I said, "What's the price of palladium?" You said, "Don't worry about it."
Because you don't actually care about the
It
price.
says
of
who?
Says me.
I have it on my favorites.
And I'm just curious. I'm genuinely
Okay, what was your
curious.
question? What's worth
Which,
more?
what do you think is worth more? Which do you have more value stored in?
Okay.
Gold jewelry or gold in your house, or the dust in all of your crypto
The
wallets?
dust in all my crypto wallets, hands down, not even close.
You got more dust in your crypto
Yeah.
wallets than you do gold?
I don't even know
I
how
think
many
do,
wallets
too.
I have.
I think I did too.
You know what I think's gonna
I
happen?
got like 20 wallets, all with like $50 in it.
I think 10 years from now, I'm gonna find a seed phrase somewhere and be like, "Oh," and then it'll be probably like SHIB I bought that.
I had it was funny. My best dust story was I had originally got some B&B when it was like, I don't know, $1 or something like that. And I was using it. I don't remember. I was like staking it for something. I don't know. Anyways, long time ago, had some B&B and I was using it. I had some dust. The dust was like two and a half B&B. Like it wasn't, it was just kind of like the pocket change just sitting around. At the time, it was like $4.50 or something stupid like that. And I was like, all right, well, this B&B. I forgot all about it. And then B&B got up to like $300 or something like that. And then I looked, and next thing you know, the dust in my wallet was worth like $800. And I was like, holy crap, that is a lot of dust.
We're gonna find a lot of those, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna find a lot of those.
Yeah.
So do you agree with kind of, I guess, the picture I painted as far as why the markets went down? It's because of this global uncertainty, or do you have another off the wall thesis you'd like to throw out there, Rob?
I don't really think the markets are down, though. I mean, you look
They're
at
literally down.
David. The markets are like the markets.
Is it red or green, Robin?
They're actually
Crypto markets, are they
they're
red or
actually
green? Are the
green.
crypto markets red or green?
You said are the markets are down. And
Okay,
the
Robin.
markets
Are the
not-
crypto markets?
Okay, thank you for.
You're very welcome. You knew exactly what I meant.
No, I didn't. When you say the markets are down, what? Okay, when you say markets, when you put an S on markets, you're talking about only crypto?
Crypto markets.
How many markets are in crypto? There's one. All right. And anyways, okay, Bitcoin is down 0.8%. And it's still up 5% on the week. The markets are not down. The crypto market and crypto markets are not down.
Oh my God, then I must be fucking colorblind because I see red, which means they're down.
Okay, yes, they're minus 0.8% is down. Okay, so you're saying that there's global uncertainty and it caused Bitcoin's price to go down 0.8%.
Why do I even ask you questions, bro? Why? I literally ask you a simple question, and it always goes off on this tangent that no one has any idea what you're even talking about.
Okay, you asked me a question. Why are the markets down?
No, that's not what I said. I said,
was
Rob,
genuinely confused.
do you
and then I was like, well, the markets aren't down.
And then when
I
I
thought you might be trying to like trick me here, and then you're alluding to only the crypto markets. So now I pull up the crypto markets, And genuinely, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm genuinely not trying to be funny, bro. Look, I'll wholeheartedly do not consider this the markets being down. I'm sorry. Maybe we're on a different page here, but my personal opinion, 0.7% down is not the markets being down. And at least not to an extent that news events is pushed the price of Bitcoin down. It's generally, it was here twice this week already. It's not down. Like, look on the 1 week. It says the markets are not down. This is the weekly chart. The daily chart, it's not even down right now, honestly. I don't know. I'm sorry. That's just my take on it. I don't think the markets are down.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on. This was from the, what was that Coinbase event? Crypto asset circle jerk, whatever. Okay, so here's Donald Trump at the Coinbase event. Forgot what it's called. Well, here's what he had to say.
One at the Coinbase State of Crypto.
Oh, Coinbase State of Crypto. Can we give some more juice on that?
One at the Coinbase State of Crypto Summit. I'm delighted to speak to some of the greatest visionaries and pioneers in the fields of tech and finance who are working to build a future powered by crypto. Many have called me the first crypto.
You think he's reading from a teleprompter?
Definitely.
You know the meme that shows... There's a meme that shows a lady who looks kind of like orange. You know when you leave spaghetti in the Tupperware and then that never comes off? Yeah, that looks like Trump right now. I don't know why. Like a big bowl of spaghetti left in Tupperware. Anyways.
Crypto president, that's an honor. I really do consider that a very big honor, actually. And starting on day one, we ended the Biden administration's war on crypto. It was an absolute war and very unfair. And we unleashed American innovators to do what you do best, lead the world into new frontiers. We ended Operation Choke Point 2.0. I created the first presidential working group on digital assets. I named a pro-freedom, pro-innovation SEC chair, a great man named Paul Atkins, and we created the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve and the United States Digital Asset Stockpile. But we are not done yet. My administration is working with Congress to pass the Genius Act, supporting the creation of dollar-backed stablecoins. And we also will be working to create clear and simple market frameworks that will allow America to dominate the future of crypto and Bitcoin. Congratulations to everyone at this exciting time in your industry and in our country's life. I wish you all the best of luck.
So yeah, that was Trump. There was a lot of other big speakers at the Coinbase State of Crypto event. Speaking of Bitcoin, so this is Bitcoin's inflows yesterday, 164.6 million with, shocker, BlackRock has like 75 or 80% of those inflows. And then you look at ETH's inflows. What is that, almost double? Almost. 240 million versus 164 million. BlackRock leading the way with 163.6 million, and Fidelity at 37.3. ETH inflows are crushing it, which is why the gas fees were high this morning.
And then also, you know, you're not seeing a big price surge on the ETH token itself. And so, you know, you look at ETH here, this is on the 1 month. So we've seen nothing but steady inflows. This is now going on 2 weeks, and yet the price has not really shot up. Now let's just take a step back. When we talk about inflows, this is genuinely just the stock market buying a shit ton of Ethereum. And so the stock market is buying ETH, but the price is not moving up. Now, it is gradually. We did go from 2,500 up to 2,700 at a 1.2800. And so, you know, it is a 10% move. But, I mean, we were here a couple times we were here 2 weeks ago. We were also here 3 weeks ago, and we were there 4 weeks ago. So it's nothing out of the ordinary. What do you mean, wow?
Insane analysis.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is that 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, we weren't seeing the inflows. And we're seeing the inflows here now. However, the price hasn't really went past where it was a few weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, but yet inflows are significantly higher than it was at the beginning of the month.
Hmm.
So I do think that it's still a great time to buy ETH in the short term. I think that if you're planning on doing a swing trade, by now, maybe exit around 5,000-6,000. I think it's something that you can probably nail on a, what do you think, 90-day time horizon?
Probably something like that.
Yeah, it's 2,700 to 5,000.
Hmm.
I think you can do a nice 2x there, my personal opinion. So
Let's take a look at the green markets today from Crypto Bubbles. Everything's in the green. Markets are up. XDC. Oh, sorry. These are red bubbles. My bad. Hype is up 1.9%. White Rock is up 9.2%. You know, Redman sent me White Rock. He said, check out White Rock. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. Very interesting. It's, I'm assuming a play on BlackRock, but it's White Rock. But markets are down. Algo's down 7.3%. Sonic at sub 40 cents. Last time I checked, 37.13 cents. This is a project that ran to almost 90 cents, so a 3x away from current cycle highs. I keep my eye on Sonic. Sonic reminds me of a faster Cardano when it comes to price action. Right? Cardano takes like 3 years of consolidation, and then in a month it like 5x's. Sonic spends like 3 months in consolidation and then spends a month in 3x's. And so keep your eye on Sonic. It's at an extreme discount. They just opened up their airdrop to US users. And so just keep that in mind. Also, projects like VeChain, I believe, are super undervalued at 2.5 cents. And then
the smallest bubble on that map there is Bitcoin, right? That little orange circle there in the bottom left.
Oh, it's a little baby.
Yeah. So my big takeaway on this bubble map today is that Bitcoin dominance is yet again climbing. As we see the alt sell off, Bitcoin's holding strong, and it just gets you thinking like, when altcoin market? And that's what the viewers are waiting for, right? When do you think the Bitcoin dominance drops? Or do you think it's the doomsday scenario, the one that we don't want to talk about? Will the altcoin season never come?
I said this yesterday. I think ETH has to run. When ETH has its day, I think you'll get your classic alt season. If not, because ETH dominance will eat away at Bitcoin's dominance, I believe. ETH dominance, I think, peaked at 10% yesterday or a couple days ago. And so if you want a classic alt season, you need ETH to run and the money flows down.
I agree for classic. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to get a classic.
But if ETH doesn't run, you better hope you've been doing your research and paying attention, because there's only going to be a very handful of crypto and sectors that are going to rally. And if you've been paying attention and watching our show, you guys know which ones that we believe in, or at least I believe in, speaking for myself. And those have been doing great. Stablecoin yield, great. AI, crushing it. The only thing we really haven't seen is RWA. So if you're just in 2021 legacy coins that you're just waiting for them to get back to its all-time high because you're at the height, your portfolio was at 50K, now it's at 15K, and you just want to get back up to the 50 because you have that number ingrained in your mind. If you do that, you're going to lose money. Not only are you going to lose money, you're going to lose something worse. You're going to lose time and opportunity cost. And so my recommendation would be, if you haven't done so, when the markets are down or when the markets are flat, you want to reevaluate your portfolio. And then when the markets go up, whichever ones you identified, you're going to log out of and push that money into something else. That's when you do it. You don't do it now. You do it when the markets are up. Now you prep, you overlook your portfolio. Which ones are strong? Which ones are showing strength? What narratives are popping up? What news? That's what you should be doing, even in a bull market. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're pretty spot on all of that.
Yeah, because if you're just, if you're, and
even the take, if for a classic altcoin season, where basically, what do we mean by classic altcoin season? This is your first run, and if you just got exposure to crypto or Bitcoin in, say, the last 2 years, you're not really familiar with what happened in 2021. And in 2021, Bitcoin ran, consolidated, every single crypto went up.
Literally.
Like every single one. Now, there were some that just didn't go up that much. You know, the ones that come to mind would be Dash and like Monero, Litecoin to some extent, even though it did perform relatively well last bull market, but underperformed expectations. Everything went up. And so I don't think you're going to get that. Now, we might get something similar. We might get something more comparable to that, but it is 100% dependent on ETH, right? Because the ETH ecosystem is quite large. I would say, just a estimate, maybe 15 to 20% of the top 100 projects are either directly connected to Ethereum or actually an Ethereum-based token, like an ERC20. You think that number is kind of fair?
What was the number again?
15 to 20% of the top 100 projects are either a ETH-based token or
EVM compatible,
or at least EVM compatible to a strong degree. Like Avalanche, for example. Avalanche,
they're EVM compatible.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're not.
I think the number is higher than 20%.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I think it's way higher than 20%.
Yeah. So basically, if ETH doesn't run, you can just automatically discount 20% of the tokens or 20% of the projects in the top 100 are gonna suffer and die, right? And when I say die, I don't mean go to zero, but essentially miss the entire bull market, watch Bitcoin break all-time highs, and everyone's getting euphoria.
You know, die literally means you don't have a heartbeat and you're going to zero.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I know.
here's the thing: if I bought, let's just say Chainlink today at $15, right? Let's say I bought Chainlink today at $15. If the price of Bitcoin were to hit $1 million and Chainlink was still at $15, I consider that it died, right? Now, did you still have your money? Did you lose any money? No, but it's just it's this massive opportunity cost that you just straight lost out on. Now, if it was only Bitcoin that went to $1 million and every single thing else stayed flat, then I guess you can make an argument that, like, okay, well, you know, it was just Bitcoin doing its thing. But
I mean, ideally,
if you saw ETH exploding, Bitcoin exploding, XRP exploding, maybe Solana got left behind,
keep it simple.
and Chainlink got left behind. Yeah.
You want to know if your project is dying or not? Just, are they making new all-time highs every cycle? If they're not making new all-time highs every cycle, it's a dying project.
Yeah.
It's like you look on the chart. You keep putting in lower lows and lower highs, it's going to keep going down. Same thing. If you can't break new all-time highs, if Chainlink doesn't get to over $60 this cycle, I'll sell my Chainlink at $40, $30, $15. I don't care. I'll sell, I'll take a loss, and I'll be like, hey, I was wrong. Same thing with the other ones. If you can't break your all-time high, you're screwed. I'm excited to announce, so we got RareEvo coming in August, and we had a meeting with the guys over there. We're excited to announce anyone who is a local, who has a Nevada driver's license, we're going to give you a free ticket to come join us.
I'm a local.
Yeah. But not Rob. So with that being said, we're going to get you guys a code. The only thing I'll say is if you try to pimp the system and you say you're from Vegas or from Nevada, you get your free ticket, you come all the way down here, they will ask you to show a Nevada ID when you get your pass. So keep that in mind. So if you're from Vegas or you're in Nevada, I don't know, maybe you're watching in Reno or Elk County or Elko County, Nye County, I don't know, somewhere up north in northern Nevada.
Over there off of Wagon Wheel Drive.
Wagon Wheel and Tobacco Drive. If you're in the state of Nevada, get your free ticket. Come join us. Have some fun. We're also going to be doing some other giveaways. I'm going to be picking a couple people and upgrading you guys to a VIP pass, which is normally $6,000. We're going to do that on the house, compliments of RareEvo. For that one, you're going to need a ticket, though. So if you're not a Nevada resident, there's a link in the description to buy a ticket to RareEvo. It is, I'll just say it's my favorite conference of the year. I love those guys. They put on a great conference. It's fun. It's exciting. You meet a lot of great people. The poker tournament is badass. And
that's why it's your favorite one, because of the poker tournament. already know.
That's a big reason why. But those guys do it good, man. I mean, they spare no expenses. After party, pre-party. I don't know how they must have spent, God knows, like a godly amount of money for that Poker Go Studios. And so, anyways, Jason S. Yeah, you're a local, bro. I'm gonna get you the code and make sure to use it. You'll get your free ticket. And so yeah, shout out to RareEvo. You know, there's top cycle or cycle top signals, right?
Yeah.
What would you say if I said, hey, the New York Post just did a bull post, anyways, look at this. How to buy Pepe coin, and is it a good investment, from the New York Post? It's an actual article, Rob.
No, it's not cringy enough. Maybe back in 2021, this one would have been it. But it's got to be something big, bro.
Like what?
Like, okay, so like you had Elon Musk dressing up as no, he didn't dress up as a dog. No, he went on SNL, and then he got on. He discussed Doge multiple times on SNL. That was the top, because he came in, he had the glasses on, he was like, to the moon, and then literally just tanked from there. That was the all-time high for Dogecoin.
He did dress up as as Wario from Mario Brothers.
You know what? They put so much shade on Elon for that SNL's cameo, and I thought it was actually pretty decent. It wasn't my favorite, but I get it was okay. It was good. I enjoyed it. There was a couple of cool little quirks in there. The Mario one was pretty good though. Mario was pretty or Wario, whatever it was. But what would be a top signal for me this go round?
If Elizabeth Warren says she supports crypto, sell everything.
I don't know. I'd have to think more about it.
Okay.
Maybe like,
movie, speaking of hard, movie I watched last night, Get Hard, with Kevin Hart and Will Smith, or Will Ferrell. Good movie.
That's an old one, man.
Remember that movie?
You're going through the
Rolodex.
Yeah, was that 2003 or something?
No, it wasn't. It was in the 10s. Maybe even the 20s. No, not the 20s, the 10s for sure. Why don't you look it up, because now I'm curious. Okay, on from that to this. Shout out to the Virtuals team. Iris, which is the first Virtuals agent that launched natively on Ethereum, went live and literally did a 500x. A 500x when everything else is either down slightly or flat. A 500x. I think on one wallet, I max bid points on every wallet. One wallet, I only had like 10,000 points. And I put in 1.2 virtuals, and it's worth $400. So from $3 to $400. And so shout out to the team, man. What a great launch. I think this thing can go to $1 billion. We'll see. But this is just one example. This is 100x Darren. He had an allocation, says he turned 30 virtuals into 8,000. Where else are you going to get that? I mean, man, virtuals. And then this is interesting from Coin Bureau. After Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's Doge. So based on security.org's annual cryptocurrency consumer report, Bitcoin, ETH, and Doge are the top 3 most desired crypto among Americans planning to invest in 2025. Solana, XRP, and USDC follow the list. I am very shocked that this is not XRP. Like, I would expect Doge to be in the top 5.
I say that people that are actually passionate about crypto, XRP would be the 3rd. However, if you were to just poll every single person in America, or just ask everyone in America, you're gonna get more people that are familiar with Doge than there are with XRP. Now, anybody that has some kind of connection to crypto,
You think it's a longevity thing? They've been around since 2013, or you think it's because it's a dog?
I mean, XRP has been around almost the same amount of time.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
but XRP's got a black eye. The SEC people.
It's just, this is straight popular vote, right? And so it might not be which is the best, but like who, the users that are using, like we can go down the list of use case utility. We know that XRP is a very versatile, utility driven project. Doge, It's just popular, man. It's a dog. Everyone loves dogs.
I love dogs.
Everyone loves the Shiba Inu. David loves dogs. Wow.
Was the one time we did? It's me and my dog. Ooh. That was good. Good times.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to check. I'm going to check the AMA real quick. Also, we only have 80 likes. Guys, hit the like button, man. Literally doesn't cost you anything. Y'all come in here. You stroll in here. You watch. You laugh. You make fun of us. You talk crap. You can't even hit the like button. Shame on all of you. Please hit the like button. Thank you very much. We have some, let's see if we got any questions. Triangle said, what happened to ICP? Adoption. It needs adoption. It can have all the badass tech. It needs adoption. Caffeine could potentially bring that adoption. It's still early. We'll see. Jason said, when is the bull market going to happen? It's already in there. We're already in the bull market, my friend. A little weird the way it's going. And then Khalid said, hola. I want to play a game. Felix in the chat said something to the lines of, you guys are going to be sorry when the dino coins come back. Yeah, he said.
We can argue about this one all day, bro.
He says something like that. Okay, so I'm going to go down the list here, Rob. And we're going to go through the dino coin list. Does XRP make a new all-time high?
Well, it's already made it.
Okay, does BNB make a new all-time high?
It's already made a new all-time.
Okay. What about Cardano?
How about this?
No.
Just give me a number.
This is my
Just give me a number higher than what it is. And then how about this? How about I throw it to you, bro. Hey. Then you do the same with me. You pick a couple. All right, I got this. Okay. I got this. All right.
You got this.
Will ETH hit $10,000?
Yes.
And this is all within the next 2 years. We're gonna be a nice little time window.
The answer is yes.
10,000. Okay. Will XRP hit $10?
Yes.
Will BNB hit $1,500?
In 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Will Solana hit $1,500?
In 2 years? No.
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 I want to get the chat's opinion on this one. We'll go down a couple more here in a second. But chat, put a 1 in the chat if you think that Solana will hit 1,500 in the next 2 years. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't think.
I want you to answer that question too. Will Solana hit 1,500 in 2 years?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. And I think it hits it this year.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Can one of my mods in here, by the way, big shout out to the mods. Can one of my mods in here timestamp this time, clip it out on the show? No, for myself as well. But definitely for what he just said, this year, 1,500. If that happens, I will buy you any $500 wine of your choice. Up to $500. And if it doesn't,
okay, what if I got like 17 cases of barefoot wine?
what?
You know the Roscato?
Yeah, I know.
Station?
Yeah. What about the Stella Rosa?
Yeah, give me like because I could get one bottle, but it's just gonna be a lot more comical if you roll up with a van with 17
because it's not going to happen. No, all right. Continue, please.
So, all right, Dogecoin to $2. Does that happen?
No. In 2 years, no.
And then how about Cardano? $7.
In 2 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I'll do up to 15, and then you can take over after that.
Yeah.
So then we got Chainlink, $100.
In 2 years? Yes.
I'm a no on that one. Avalanche, $100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Stellar, let's throw a wild one out here. Stellar Lumens, $5.
Yes. Big partnership with PayPal.
Okay.
Stellar's legit, man. It just doesn't get a lot of love. Stellar is absolutely legit. Believe it or not, in certain metrics, it is more efficient than XRP.
All right. Why don't you start from the bottom of 100 and then work your way up, and then just do whatever ones you think.
And so the time frame is 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, and you just throw out a random number that you think is kind of out there. Like,
by the way,
you would deem whatever number you throw out as very successful Very good. Yeah.
Very nice.
So,
Great success.
yeah. All right. What do you got?
Okay. By the way,
The
Pudgy.
ones that we
No,
we care about.
I was just gonna say Pudgy Penguins and NASCAR.
Yeah, like I don't care about any of those.
No.
Any of the F all those. Yeah.
Sandbox. $2.50.
No, nope.
You don't think so?
No.
You
If
think
you
it's
would
'cause the
if
metaverse
you would have
is
said $1 something, I would be a little bit more inclined to
I
think
can't
about
make it easy.
I just don't think it'll get to $2 now.
Gala, 70 cents.
Yes.
You are smoking some
Oh,
good
70
stuff, baby.
cents. 70 cents. It's at it's at 1 cent.
It's at 1.5 cents. Bro.
Yeah, it's not gonna get 70 cents. Sorry. No.
Theta to $5.
Yes.
You think so?
I think the Edge Cloud has so much potential. I think it catches on. The video streaming is kind of a dead narrative.
Yeah, that thing is not. I mean,
It's got the team. I don't know. It's sneaky. It was once in the top 25.
yeah.
And it was scratching on the door of the top 20.
They gotta
And-
pivot. They gotta pivot from the streaming shit, man.
I think the Edge Cloud has potential.
Yeah, but again, it all comes down to adoption, at least for me. Let's see. Let's find a good one here for my buddy Rob. The Graph to $1.
No.
No, not even a chance.
I don't even think it gets to 40 cents.
I don't even think it gets to 30 cents.
Damn.
I hope I'm wrong. I have a little graph, just like a tiny bit. Not a lot. We're gonna get in some good ones here. Stacks, $6. In 2 years.
No.
No?
I think it's missing the users. That's simply all it is. You could argue it's the front runner.
But you can say that about anything, right?
No.
For the most part,
I
it's
think
missing users.
there's projects that have users that just aren't that they just haven't really took off yet. Like Cardano. They might not have the strongest DApp ecosystem, but the retail and the users are there. It hasn't accelerated.
Cardano just needs one badass DApp. And I'm not saying that there's no badass
stable coins and he's DeFi.
Yes,
DeFi,
and I'm
stable
not saying that Cardano has no good dApps. I'm saying one that just galvanizes the community and then everyone else. Look what Virtual's
Yeah, you know what?
Right?
Like, yeah, there's such a deep catalog of dApps. On
like if
Cardano.
Virtuals built their platform on Cardano would be at $3.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's what you need, man. That's what you need. And so,
one super trendy.
yeah, man, just one thing to just siphon in all the users. Okay. I'm going to skip over Optimism. I'm going to skip over Flare. I'm going to skip over Virtuals. Quant to $1,000. No? It's got fairly low supply. It's only at, it's less than a 10x.
It's just not. It's not catching me. Here's the thing: like, if you are not gonna be retail, right? It's not a retail project, right? Ain't nobody that's got very, very, very novice experience in crypto gonna buy Quant. It's just that's how it is. And so if retail hasn't got a hold of it yet, if institutions haven't got a hold of it yet, because that's essentially what you're banking on, right? Is institutions getting a hold of it? Maybe all of a sudden it trickles down to retail in the latter half, and kind of like Chainlink, right? Chainlink, hey, it's institutions or the real money behind it, and then you know what? It trickles down to retail to some degree, and then retail kind of jumps in on it, and they're like, hey man, this is actually pretty cool. It might not be the funnest project out there, but it's gonna be the future, right? Let's say the same about XRP. You know, initially when it first came out, not really for the retail, but the retail believed in it because of institutions. Institutions aren't touching Quant.
Yeah, I sold all my Quant bags. I don't have any Quant at all. I used to have.
That's what you guys need to pay attention to. Is those moves? Is it the wrong move? Is it what you need to do? Is it what you should do with all your projects? No. Are you gonna swing and miss? Yes, but you're also going to save yourself a lot of money. And so when you identify like, hey, I need to cut the cord on this and move laterally, that's how you're gonna make money, or at least prevent yourself from losing money, which essentially is gonna make you money. And so you need to look at your projects and be like, is it time to cut the cord on this? You don't need to sell out and then go on a vacation. but at least say, hey, you know what, Quant, is this one gonna move the needle of this bull market? If the answer is no, then and say you bought it at $5,000 and it's worth $1,000 right now. Okay, you took a big L on that one, right? You're down a lot, but that $1,000 could be the fuel. You move it laterally to another project. That 1,000 can go back up to 5,000 if you pick the right project to move laterally. What we don't want to do is take that 5,000 down to 1,000 and then watch it go down to $200 in the next 3 years and then down to $18 in 5 years. That is a dumb move. So don't do that. Be aware. Thank you.
Okay, now we're getting into the good stuff here, okay?
Okay.
Algorand to $5.
That's a tough one.
It got up to over $3 last cycle.
I'm going to go no on that. I think it gets close to its previous all-time high. I don't even think it crosses all-time high. I would say $2.50 is my kind of, is where I think. And that is still a 10x from where it is now. Over that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a no either on $5. Doesn't mean I'm bearish on Algorand, but yeah.
And I think if it got to 250, I still think that would be wildly bullish for Algorand.
Cosmos, $100.
Nope.
Me neither. I can't. Sorry.
No, I think that one is one that is falling down the ranks quickly. What a disappointing project as far as price goes. Now,
tech is great.
The tech is great. People are on the SDK. People are using it. There's, its roadmap is checked off, which is crazy to me because most roadmaps, they take forever to get through it. Cosmos, relatively new project. I think it launched in 2019.
It's not. I would not call it new, Rob. It's an OG.
2019, 2020 is when it launched.
I think it was around in 17. I could be wrong. I'll double check. Go ahead.
It's a newer one. And so Cosmos going through its roadmap as quick as it has, it's a little disappointing. I mean, realistically, it's they did what they said they were going to do, and yet the price just isn't performing very well. And so it also kind of gets off the back that its base token, the Cosmos token, for that just it hasn't it didn't. That was when they ICO'd. They didn't really have their chain. Like, go look at the chart. Look at the Cosmos chart.
The white paper was published in 2016.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and their project didn't come out. The tokens didn't get issued until look at their all-time 2019 right here. That was when that's when it sold. March of 2019. This is when the ICO went live. There was pre-ICO where you could buy, and I remember that was 2018. The ICO, I think the listing was probably 2017, 2018.
March 14th, 2019. The token.
Yeah, I said March.
I'm saying that they've been around a while.
Yeah, but it was just an idea. It was just the white paper. You know what I mean? Like it was. They're putting the team together. Only people. The token went live in 2019, so nobody even knew what it was before then.
Let me ask you this question. Let's take Base Chain for example. If in 3 years Base comes out with a token, is it fairly new or has it been around for 5 years?
Yeah, but they have a blockchain. There was no Cosmos blockchain in 2018. Okay. Base has a chain, but Cosmos there was no Cosmos. They might have had an office, they might have had people that worked there, but there was no blockchain, there was no transactions, there were nothing. They didn't exist in 2018 other than an idea.
You know what Cosmos? So in sports, right? You have the unathletic, the untalented, but the super hard worker, right? And they're a good player. Then you have the one that's super talented, but is not a hard worker, and they're a great player. And then you have one that's both, is super talented and works extremely hard. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. And they're legendary. Crypto's the same. Great SDK, great idea, great this, terrible tokenomics. Great tokenomics, yay, but doesn't do shit. When you find one project that has both, I think one of them, easy for me, is Virtual's Protocol. Great tech, great team. They found a way to make the tokenomics great. And there's a few of them out there. Those are the ones you want to be in. And then to kind of wrap this up, I'll ask three more. I'll ask three more there, Rob. I think the next one I want to ask you is Filecoin to $150. I know that sounds crazy, but
here's what you know what I realized is that you kind of mentioned the projects from the last bull market.
yeah, I know Dino coins, and they've all slipped.
Yeah, I don't believe in any of these Dino coins. I don't believe in Filecoin. I don't believe in Cosmos. And I'm not saying that I won't be wrong about these, but myself personally, I'm not buying Filecoin. Now, will it get up in price? Will I be wrong about one or maybe two? Sure. I'm not buying Quant, not buying Filecoin, not buying Cosmos. I'm not buying Gala. Well, Gala I might make an exception for. I think Gala is going to perform well.
For what reason? I have no idea.
For 70 cents? No.
I don't know your affinity with Gala.
I've already explained. So just I'll sum it up very short and sweet. Gaming is going to pop off at some point this cycle. So within the next calendar year, the next 12 months, you're going to see gaming explode in crypto. And there's are really only two projects that come to mind that are going to pop off with gaming. It'll be Avalanche and Gala.
So Avalanche.
I mean, you would probably see a little bump up in Sandbox and in Decentraland, but
Rob, you want to see something cool?
what's that?
Look how cool this is. This is Filecoin. 236. Remember Kenny G? He was big on Filecoin. Huge. I mean, my God, this is
That's why here I'll just say this. This is why we do this show every day. Because if nothing changed and the dino coins that everyone's super in love with,
we don't even need to do the show.
Yeah, if Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin were going to be the three winners for the rest of eternity, then we wouldn't do this show, right? And so we're here discussing what is trending, where is momentum moving to, and where is the momentum losing, right? You want to know where you want to pivot out more than anything, right? Because we agree that crypto ultimately kind of goes up uniformly, right? Like the market cap. And then Bitcoin has its dominance, and then wherever Bitcoin's not, the altcoins, that is a constant shuffle. And so if you're just staying in one crypto and just saying like, hey man, you know what? The community's badass, has the best tech ever. It does 17 million billion.
It made me feel
trillion.
Real good.
You know, like it does 8 billion transactions per second. It does 170,000 blocks per second. What's up, bro?
Just looking at the chat.
You know, speaking of doing a lot of blocks per second, what do you think about Caspo? You know, that's a channel favorite.
By the way,
have you
real quick?
I don't want to say lost faith. I've
lost faith in whoever the fuck is running their X account. And I know it's not Chad anymore. I don't know who it is, but like they're rebranding and what is Caspa City?
Huh?
Yeah, they did this whole thing. They changed it to Caspa City. I guess they're trying to. I don't even know, man. And then they had this weird post. This is their post. The page is evolving, not into a brand or product, but into a city. Empires fall, corporations fade, cities get looted. I mean, cities survive and thrive. And they go on this whole thing about why cities are impossible to destroy, and Caspa's a digital city, and the community absolutely hates it. And I don't really like it either. It doesn't change anything fundamentally on Caspa, but like, who's running this account now?
So let me ask you, you are very bullish. Okay, I'll tell you, I'm bullish on Caspa because it has such a strong community and it's such a retail interest. About as solid of tokenomics as you can possibly ask for. The liquidity side and market side, or the market and liquidity where you're able to buy it, I think that's its big downfall on at least the token side. So tokenomics, as far as security, best in the game. Liquidity, market availability to buy, one of the worst. and at least for where it is on market cap. I'll just say that. Team, absolute all-stars. Roadmap, great. Tech, great. And so
there's some infighting there too, just like with Cardano.
So, but now here's your question is like smart contracts, live, cool. Well, not yet. But okay, you had the
token standard.
What's that?
Token standard.
Yeah, the token standard. But what I was gonna get at is when the smart contracts are good to go, do you think that this gets that wild run up, or do we see something that takes time to evolve and then it'll eventually come? Because I'll be honest with you, I hold a lot of faith in Caspa, but I think it's a higher risk, higher reward. And I'll just say this: I'm not all in on Caspa. I'm not all in to the point of where, like, if this thing doesn't take off, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm not so heavily invested that it's gonna, like, punch me in the gut. But I would say I'd probably have about a 2 or 3% portfolio allocation to Caspa, which is pretty strong. It's pretty strong.
Not a small allocation, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's enough. It's
unless your portfolio is like $20.
Yeah, it's a
you got $4 in cash.
I got $7
solid
in Caspa. But no. So I have a good position on it. I still believe in it. I haven't really thought about selling or anything like that. So I'm cool where I'm at. I'm just curious where you stand. Are you
Caspa's one? Here's my recommendation. If you want Caspa, you need to be okay with not touching it for like 5 to 10 years. Give it time, and you should be fine. But if you're looking at,
wouldn't you reevaluate every couple? Because here's the thing: we always talk about this. Like, don't buy a coin and then just forget about it, whatever. Like, you can do that with Bitcoin, but you can't do that with anything. I wouldn't even do that with ETH. I wouldn't do that with Solana. I wouldn't do that with anything. Not Cardano. Like, you got to reevaluate just constantly. And so
I feel pretty confident at this point, sticking Caspa in a long-term hold. I really do. It's going to sound crazy.
Okay, so what if 2 years from now there's not a single popular dApp and it's not listed on Binance or Coinbase?
I'll still give it time.
So you're okay writing this one to zero? Because I'm going to be honest with you. At my portfolio position, I'm not okay writing it to zero. And I'm not saying that it needs to pop off right now. And I got some patience with it, but I've done this too many times. We've alluded to it when we began. I've done it too many times to be bullish on something and then watch it go ultimately flatlining bottom right. And so if for example, at the end of the year, if it's at 6 cents, and then by June of next year, it's at 3 cents, and then by September of next year, it's at 2 cents, I'm not gonna hold it. I'm gonna sell before then. That's just how I operate. I don't know if you're cool with like losing 90% over the next 2 years.
This is gonna sound insane, but it's gonna sound very insane. But I put Caspa in the same category as Bitcoin for my investment thesis. That's what I do. But I don't have a large allocation. I don't stack Caspa like I stack Bitcoin.
But you do agree that it's not going to be the same store of value as Bitcoin. It has the same security fundamentals with its,
a carbon copy, but better, way better.
So is Bitcoin Cash.
No, it's not.
It's a carbon copy, but it can store more data. And so on paper,
you did not
on paper, Bitcoin Cash, hypothetically speaking, is better than Bitcoin. I mean, explain to me how it's not. It's faster. It can put, I don't know if it's faster, but which one is it? No, SV is faster, but
everything's faster than Bitcoin. I don't think that's a fair comparison.
No, well, Bitcoin Cash got forked and had the larger block size, which still had the same time dynamics as far as the miners producing blocks. So that one isn't faster, but I think the SV Satoshi Vision, I think that one became faster.
I don't know. I think if you give Casper some time, I think it'll be worth your while. That's all I got. Guys, if you stay in the chat, you'll be automatically redirected to Sistine Trading. We got CVO Crypto running the show today. And then tomorrow will be Alex O Crypto. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to hit on. Oh, do me a favor, guys. Get into virtuals, okay? So go to the here. I'm gonna put a link in there. We're running a competition with some of the other virtuals influencers, and I want to crush these guys, man. And they're nice people, but I want to destroy them. Do me a favor. Use that ref code. Use that link. Go to the virtuals app, whether it's through your wallet browser or through your website, and then put the referral code in, and then start farming some points in there, okay? Buy a couple of agents and stake them. It's all easy. It's easy to do. Might even come out with a video and just drop it in Discord on how to do that. And also, I'm working with the virtuals team to try to figure out a way to find out exactly how many people and who are tied to our ref link, because I'm going to create a special Discord channel where it's going to be extra alpha only on virtuals, right? People in Patreon will still get the regular stuff they're getting, but really extra everything you can want to make money in virtuals, like 500Xs and 100Xs and 20Xs. That's what we're going to do in Discord, but you have to be part. You have to use our ref link and be part of that group to do so. And so highly recommend you go do so. Also, one last thing I want to mention, and Brokyoshi brought this up. I or Robin, no one from the SINCITY team will ever DM you and ask you to do something. Ever. If we're announcing something, we'll announce it publicly. If we're saying we're starting a new copy trading, whatever, we're not just going to DM everyone individually. We're going to put it in the Discord. There's going to be scammers. There's going to be impersonators. Do not ever give them money. I know someone had some issue with that. So just keep that in mind. And if you're unsure, just wait. Bring it up in the chat. I don't know something else, but don't get scammed out of your money. With that being said, Gino, roll the outro. That wasn't my original one. So anyways, guys, love you. Stay tuned. Sistine Trading coming up next. If not, we'll see you here tomorrow. Same place, same time. Peace.
SINCITY, crypto, everybody know we here for entertainment and info, gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in, for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in then you win, we divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David, I spit the game but they gave it. Named according to your favorite, I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners, special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners, ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors, they gonna teach